What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Pokemon tier list video. We've been having some conversations recently with some people regarding Pokemon that are underappreciated, that really deserve more love and attention than they actually get. And one of those categories is actually baby Pokemon. Now, do we need a lot of baby Pokemon? No, because they are generally weaker than even basic Pokemon, and some of them are hard to get to evolve, but some of the designs are actually pretty good. Stemming back all the way from Gen 2, I think some of these Pokemon are actually better than a lot of players and fans give them credit for. So starting with Pichu, the baby form to, I won't say everybody's favorite, but more or less, I'm going to give Pichu an S tier. Pichu is, to me, what old Pikachu is to me. Old, chunkier, fatter Pikachu that we had in the original Pokemon series, that we'd see in, Red and Blue and Yellow, Gold and Silver, the Pokemon base set, the jungle set. Like, these Pikachus were not this thin little rat that we see now in newer games and cards and shows. And Pichu just embodies that so much. I love Pichu. Up next, we've got Cleffa, which I don't know how I feel about Cleffa. I feel like I'm going to put Cleffa in B tier. It's not terrible, but I just don't get the same feeling I get like with Clefairy, or even like Pichu. Pichu was just an adorable baby version of Pikachu, whereas Cleffa just looks like a weird shaped version of Clefairy. The same can kind of be said about Igglybuff. I feel like Igglybuff I think I might put in A tier. I don't know. Can I put Igglybuff and Cleffa in different tiers? I feel like I can't. I feel like we have to have them both in the same tier. So I'm going to put them in A tier, even though I don't know if I feel like Cleffa deserves A tier. I like Igglybuff. It's basically a baby form of Jigglypuff. It's the tuft on its head eventually will move to the front of its head as it ages. And it's not bad. It's a good design. I think it's a little bit better than Cleffa, but I feel like I can't put them in different categories. Togepi as a Pokemon is useless, but I feel like as a baby Pokemon, I feel like Togepi goes in S tier. I feel like it goes in S tier or maybe like a high A plus. I'm trying to I think it goes in S tier. It is arguably the best form. Well, I don't know. Togekiss is pretty up there. Togekiss is actually a good Pokemon to use. Togetic is kind of where it fell flat. But as a baby Pokemon, I think Togepi really fits right in. Especially because we got all the time with Misty's Togepi. And it was one of the very first Gen 2 Pokemon that we actually got in the anime before Gen 2 is even a thing. So I feel like it's all right being an S tier. Tyrogue, on the other hand, I feel like Tyrogue probably goes in B tier. It's not a terrible Pokemon, but the thing for me with Tyrogue is, like, I understand it is supposed to evolve into either Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, or Hitmontop, so it looks like a frail little, but its design is really weird. And I'm not big on Hitmontop, but I really do like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. And Tyrogue just, I don't know, its design falls a little flat for me. Elekid. I feel like it belongs in S tier. It is just, there's something about its design that is so great. And I say something, I know what it is. It's the fact that the top of its head is literally a fucking plug to go into an outlet. It's cool. It's got these little, like, thick ass forearms. Like, it can really do something. Now, I don't know what the hell happens to the plug prongs when it evolves. I don't know where those go, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is a really dope Pokemon design. It was really cool to see it, to pull one of those out of Neo Genesis when it released. It was like, what the heck is this? I love it, but it's weird. Now, speaking of things that are weird and that I don't necessarily love, is Smoochum. I'm going to put Smoochum in C tier. I don't hate Smoochum. I like it a lot better than Jinx. That is damn for sure, but it's not... Smoochum's just, to me, it's just not a... It's not a Pokemon that I really envision as, like, a cute Pokemon. What I do envision as a cute Pokemon, and a perfect specimen as a baby Pokemon, is Magby. It's going straight to S tier. I might like Magby more than Pichu, and I don't really know, because I love Pichu. Always have. Magby's another one of those that I really like its design. I liked its design before, and I liked Magmar's design as well, but it's grown on me more in recent years than it did back then. It wasn't like Pichu, I've loved it since the beginning. Magby was like, I really liked it, and now it's at the point that I love it. It took longer for me to appreciate it, but I still think Magby is probably, if Pichu isn't the perfect baby Pokemon, that title definitely goes to Magby. Another almost perfect baby Pokemon is Azurill. I'm putting this little guy right up at A tier. I feel like Marill was already kind of weak enough to not need... I mean, yes, it gets huge power. But it didn't seem like it needed a baby Pokemon. I wasn't upset when it got one, because it's this cute little version of Marill that bounces on its own tail and has no arms. It's adorable, but not enough to breach that S rank. It is definitely higher than Cleffa and Igglybuff for sure. And we got Why Not, which is another Pokemon that's like, why did it have an evolution? Why not? Okay, haha. It's really awkward. I'm going to put it in C tier. I don't hate it. It is basically just Wobbuffet with the weird little lump on its head. And it's got, like, hair instead of arms. It's really weird, but it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. Badoo. I don't know how I feel about Badoo. I don't think it's awful. I think Badoo can probably go in C tier. It's not a terrible baby Pokemon, but it's like, it's so bad. The thing is, most baby Pokemon, especially the ones you get in-game, you'll never use. Granted, in Gold and Silver, it's like, oh, I got a Peach. Well, you wouldn't even... Aside from breeding or playing Crystal, you wouldn't even get the eggs. You'll get Togepi as an egg, sure, but it takes so long to evolve, and it's such a bad Pokemon, you'll more than likely never have Togetic. Magby and Elekid, it's like, well, that's cool. I can have a Magmar and an Electabuzz. Pichu, I can have a Pichu. Pikachu, you're not going to get a Raichu unless you get a stone from one of the trainers. But then also, like, I don't know, Badoo was never a Pokemon. It's like, oh, great, if I train this enough and grind with it, I'll have a Roselia. Awesome. I mean, granted, in Gen 4 we had Roserade, which wasn't a terrible Pokemon, but it's like, there was no point in going through all that. Now, Chingling, on the other hand, I love Chimecho. Chingling is I see where it kind of comes from. I feel like I can put it in B tier and be happy with that. I don't like it enough for it to be A tier, but I don't dislike it. So it doesn't fit with C tier. Just kind of goes right there along with Tyrogue. Bonsly is another one of those Pokemon that I feel like I can put it in B tier. Again, it's like, it evolves into a Pseudo-Wudo, which is not doing you very much in the way of anything. And I mean, Brock's Bonsly was kind of cute in the anime, but it doesn't have that kind of appeal factor that the Pokemon in S and A ranks have. Now, Mime Jr., on the other hand, I'm going to put this in A tier. I almost want to put it in S tier, because I loved James's Mime Jr. in the anime, and Mime Jr. is this adorable little shit. Now, the fact that it evolves into a creep like Mr. Mime, I don't understand that. But Mime Jr. is the complete opposite. And it really makes you wonder what happened to it in life to make it turn into Mr. Mime. But yeah, it's James's Mime Jr. was so adorable, it has to be an S tier. Or A tier. A tier. It's not good enough for S tier. Happy's it's alright. It's not a... I don't know if I like it as much as Igglybuff and Cleffa. No, I think Happiny can go up there. It might be like an A- tier. Well, but Chingling is down there. Do I really like Happiny more than Chingling? I'm really debating on that now. It's not. I don't like it as much as I like. Yeah, it's gonna go in B tier. It's gonna be in like a B+ tier. It's not, definitely not low enough for me to be like I don't like it. But yeah, I guess we'll just leave it in B tier for now. Munchlax is another one I'm gonna leave in B tier. I don't dislike Munchlax. I like Snorlax better. Munchlax is just kind of a... It almost doesn't even seem like a baby Pokemon. But I guess next to Snorlax, a lot of Pokemon are babies. It's not terrible. It just kind of... for some reason, and I don't remember... I mean, Max in the anime wasn't old enough to have a Pokemon. So I don't remember what the hell Munchlax and Max in my brain have to do with each other. But Max was fucking goddamn annoying, and I guess that kind of goes along with it. But as far as its design, it's not terrible. But it's not anything that I think... Like, Snorlax is Snorlax. Munchlax is just kind of like a byproduct. Which, I mean, isn't every baby? Riolu. I feel like Riolu... I'm going to put Riolu in B tier. Now, because its design isn't that far from Lucario's, which Lucario would definitely be an A tier, if not an S tier. It is a fucking cool Pokemon. And Riolu, you can definitely see how it is a baby form of Lucario, but it's not as cool. And holy absolute fuck, Riolu in Pokemon Journeys makes me really dislike this Pokemon. Just having to listen to it, and the way its attitude is, and the way it just... The voice actor, I don't even know who the voice actor is, but just having to listen to them scream Riolu over and over again, I just... Oh my god, my ears. Mantike is another really cute baby Pokemon. I almost want to put it in A tier, but I think B tier is pretty solid for it. Again, I don't like it as much as the Pokemon in A tier. I do like it a little more than some of the Pokemon in B tier, but I feel like putting it in B tier is kind of a good middle ground, I suppose. It wasn't a Mantine, which is not a Pokemon I actively like or dislike, though I do like Mantike's color scheme a little bit better. It is kind of reminiscent of Mantine's Shiny Evolution, which I don't really make a whole lot of sense. I would assume they would just follow the same color scheme, but either way, I think Mantike it's alright. B tier sounds pretty reasonable for it. And then lastly, the last baby Pokemon we have is Toxel. I actually forgot this thing. I forgot this thing was a Pokemon and also a baby Pokemon. It's gonna go in D tier for me because I don't like it. I don't like Toxtricity. It was really one of those Pokemon that was just like, from the beginning, it was like, I don't like your design. I don't like the theme they're going for. I don't care for it. Toxel's the same thing, except it's a baby form. The thing is, I didn't forget Toxtricity was a Pokemon. Because it is so unique, Not in a good way, but because it is so unique, it's not as forgettable. Plus, also, I seem to see them here and there every time I touch Scarlet and Violet to do a shiny hunt, so it's not something that I forgot existed, but I completely forgot Toxel was even a thing. It didn't even cross my mind that seeing Toxtricity is a fully evolved Pokemon. That's how much I don't care. And so like I said, I don't hate it. I'm not gonna put it in an F tier, but it's not really great. If I were to rank, well, I mean, this is what we're doing is ranking baby Pokemon. But if I were to rank the S tier, I would almost possibly say Magby should be at the front. I wasn't trying to rank the tiers themselves because that would take too much time and thinking that my brain just can't afford to do with as tired as it always is. But I feel like either this is the S tier with Magby, then Pichu, then Elekid, and then Togepi, or it would be Pichu and then Magby. Personally, right now, Magby is at the top. Just because I love Magby, and I love the orange color that shiny Magby has. It's so fucking good. But yeah, that's gonna be our ranking of Pokemon's baby Pokemon. In 9 generations, we have less than 20. I believe there's 19 of them. Which, compared to, other things, compared to legendaries, compared to the amount of mega Pokemon or regional forms, it's like, we really don't have that many baby Pokemon. But again, they're just, it's okay for a playthrough and to kind of encounter them and to breed them, but they really are a pain in the ass to evolve. Now, they're not as difficult to evolve in newer games, but I tell you, when I was trying to finish the Gold and Silver Pokedex, oh my god, getting baby Pokemon to evolve is such a hassle. Although, I guess, I don't know. I don't even remember how much I needed to do that, but either way, just the requirements of friendship and all that shit is just absolutely insane. However, that's going to be our tier list for the Pokemon baby forms. I don't really know that this list is as controversial. I'm pretty sure most people don't have an opinion on baby Pokemon. I mainly just made this list because I really wanted to think about it after having discussions. I was like, Magby is really a great Pokemon, but it's a baby Pokemon. And that's kind of what led to me just being like, let's just see where all of the baby Pokemon fall as far as the tier list goes. So let me know what you guys think. How well did your preferred baby Pokemon do? Do you guys even care about baby Pokemon? Do you have a favorite? And if you do, let me know what it is in the comments down below, and perhaps we'll have a civil conversation about it.